Greetings, citizens of Chima. This is RusticCastle from the Chi Markets, and welcome to Landscape Update number 8. In this one, I'm starting off here by making some more trees. You're going to see 2 trees placed in the landscape today, so let's crack on with this time lapse and get these trees built.
There's no map in here, but don't be scared. It makes you try again. Fight, flow, chill, believe, and don't give up your dreams, and then try to do the best you can.
With this tree built then, as you can see here, I've decided this is where I'm going to place it on my landscape. Now you'll notice that I will now have to go in and sort out the terrain around the tree. So what I've done first is gone in here and removed some of the plate so that there's enough space for those tree stumps to be able to reach out and not feel too disrupted. And then as you can see, I've covered it all in foliage to hide that transition, to make that transition as smooth as possible. Then you'll notice here we've got the second tree, so I built that up, and now you can see with the leaves on. So obviously then I need to go in, take that tree, and obviously do the same thing here. We're adding the foliage around it so it's a cohesive and consistent sort of structure at the bottom of that tree, so that means it is a smooth transition from the tree to the land. So as you can see here, there it is surrounded, and here's a before picture of the terrain and then the after picture, just because I'm adding a bunch more foliage so that that section can now be a completed tier. And now what I'm going to do is go back down at the bottom of my landscape and add a bunch more plate, just so I can texture the grass a bit more, just so there's a bit more layers. Now this does actually change, so I sort of do a little bit here and then I go in, change a bit, and you'll be able to see in the pictures coming up how I've decided to leave it. So as you can see there with that plate, and then obviously some foliage on top as well. And now what I've done is put a bunch more bushes and plants and ferns so that I can have like a border surrounding my landscape. And what I do need to do now is order a bit more foliage, because I've actually somehow managed to run out of the 1x1 green stud of like the flower element. So I need to go back and order some more of them to add some more. And you can see there's even more plate that I've added just so that there's more texture on the ground. Once again, going back up here, you can see the trees that I've done in today's update. So this is sort of all the progress made in today's update. Like I say, plate work, foliage work, just so that I can get really close to completing. Like I say, more foliage up here. So we're now extremely close to completing this landscape. As you can see here, that is the new landscape. And what I've done here is added some vehicles just to try and sort out the balance between the sides of the mock. Now what I'm thinking is making some sort of Fang style build on the dark tan instead of the vehicles, because you'll notice that there's a bit of an imbalance between the two halves of the mock, because obviously we've got the big cliff and the trees on one side and then just like land terrain at the other side. So what I'm thinking of doing is adding some Fangs style spikes so that we can have a more balanced looking mock, and therefore that means that we won't just be drawn to one side of the mock, and we can actually see loads of different detail on all aspects of the mock. So basically this new idea that I'm cooking up is like to have like a ramp up here, probably the same width as like a Crawley's Claw Ripper or something like that, and then it sort of comes out as like another tier of land that's probably maybe that tall, something like that, and it's going to come up, maybe cut off here, have some more Fang spikes in this corner, and then obviously let's say the land's up to about here, I'd have some more Fang spikes in this corner, and then obviously the edge of the table would be like the Gorge of Eternal Depth, but then this sort of cliff face that would all like come up to about here, have the cliff face, have it just like a square, but then snot technique the bricks up to the top, and then get some maybe hinge bricks and hinge plates and stuff, so that I can angle them out and like have spikes coming out like the Fangs. But that's sort of the basic idea, and obviously I'll use like some olive green for some texture and stuff like that. But that's sort of the idea I'm cooking up, and like the Fang style rocks would be like with wedge plates and curved slopes and stuff like that. Alright then guys, that is going to do it for this update number 8 of the LEGO Legends of Chima landscape. I hope you did enjoy, plenty of progress in today's update. Let me know what you think of the Fangs idea below. I think it's going to work really well to balance the whole muck in general, and I've just spent a bit of time setting up a little scene on my landscape just so you can see the potential that this landscape has in order to create nice little storylines. So I'll leave you with that. Like and subscribe, and of course, stay legendary.